Hey y'all, there is a New York Times article titled How Climate Anxiety is Shaping Family Planning. I read it and it really got me thinking how much I agree with it and how much I don't want to have kids because it would have such a starkly negative effect on climate change. Um, I mean, I've kind of always felt this way since I was a little kid, and there's a lot of reasons why guys in particular don't want kids. Because I think I think a, I think a lot of times women feel more of a biological desire for children, and men kind of always roll their eyes and they're like, "All right, well, we'll take care of the kids if they come out," but they're not. That's not our number one goal in life is to have children. My dad told me what he wanted most in life was to have children. Thought that was really nice. That he wanted to have children so much, and I think it's, I mean, I think it's been okay for him. I mean, he spent like 20 years being homeless, but he's doing pretty good right now. He has health problems, but um, he's doing okay. He has a home now, and he seems to be doing pretty good. Um, uh, so climate anxiety. So a lot of times men have a lot of reasons why they don't want to have kids, and women have reasons why they don't want to have kids either. And it's like, but climate change is another thing to add on to it, where it's like it's really expensive to have children, and it's a lot of work to take care of them, and you have to hire babysitters or childcare or get your parents to babysit your kids, and which sometimes they want to do because they love children, but um, it's a lot of responsibility to give to people, and it's a big undertaking to have children, and I've always been surprised at how just nonchalant people are about having children. I mean, I've always felt that like how like, oh, just have kids, just have kids, oh, just have children. I'm like, well, okay, you want to have children, okay. I mean, it's just like it goes back to like sex, where it's like I've always been surprised at how just enthusiastic are about having people are about having sex with other people. Where it's like I'm a little bit asexual in the sense that I was grossed out when I had sex education class when I was in school. I'm amazed that people want to see a show called Sex Education on Netflix, because when I had sex education in school, I wanted to vomit because I've when I was in the sixth, seventh, fifth, sixth, and seventh, eighth grade when they used to do that education, um, I th- I thought the whole notion was a gross idea. I always thought it was gross. The whole thing. I always thought it was gross. Um, I never understood other people's obsession with having sex. I don't mean this from a religious point of view. I mean from a I don't I mean like I don't understand what it is about sex that people actually want. Like, what is so great about sex that people are obsessed about? And like I meet these people and they're just like so into sex. They're like sex is their entire world, and it's like, some people, if they don't have sex for a week, they lose their mind, and it's like you can't survive 1 week without having sex. And it's just like I just I'm just amazed that like people are so obsessed over sex, and I think it has to do with babies, where it's like people, especially women, really want to have babies, and there's guys too. There's millions of guys in the world, billions of guys in the world who want to have babies really bad, and they're like, oh, I just want to have babies. I just want. I met people like that over the course of my life. They just want to have babies. And it's like, okay, okay. I kind of understand. I understand that people are happier when they have kids, but not everyone is happier when they have kids. There's a postpartum depression where women get really sad when they a lot of women get really sad when they get pregnant and they have kids, and they get like super sad, and it's like, yeah, some people are happier when they have kids, but there are men, get sad, but women get this like severe postpartum depression sometimes, not all women, but sometimes. And like, people with kids, I see people with kids, they look super depressed. You know, they look super depressed. They have kids. Like, I find, like, from what I see in my area, I see like, okay, teenagers are pretty happy generally. People in their early 20s are pretty happy, and older people are pretty happy. If you're at the ages of 45 or older, you're generally pretty happy, right? If you made it to 45, 55, 65, most of those people look pretty happy. But people look really sad to me when they're like in their late 20s or 30s or whatever, early 40s, and they're taking care of kids. They have this look on their face like they are so distraught that they have children. And it's like, I understand long term you can be happier if you have children. Like, there's this meme, right, about a boomer that has kids, and are done raising kids and have made a reasonable amount of money in their life. They get this big grin on their face. It's like, oh, I had kids and I made a lot of money in my life and I'm still alive at the age of 65, and oh, they get so happy. And not my parents in particular, but I mean, boomers in general are just really happy because they've made it to the upper echelons of their life, and they've reached everything they wanted to achieve, and boomers just seem really happy. And it's just like, the problem is a lot of people just like aren't cut out to be parents, and a lot of people in postpartum depression, like, there's a lot of women that just like kill people once they have a kid, because they lose their minds completely because they have a child. And there's a lot of men that get angry, and you see these men have like these anger problems where it's like, you know, they got his girlfriend or wife pregnant, and then you see this like look of like despair on this guy's face that he had kids. And it's like, you know, it's something that everybody goes through. I'm not completely opposed to having kids. I don't think it'd be the end of the world to have kids. I don't think it would be that bad to have kids. I think it would be okay. I would be completely fine with it. I'd be completely fine with having kids. If I got somebody pregnant, I'd be okay. I would really hope that person loved me. I'd be very sad if the person I had kids with didn't love me. That would be, oh, crap. You know, that would be a bummer if the person I had kids with didn't love me. So I'm trying to get somebody to love me first before I have kids with them, where it's like, a lot of people do it the other way around. A lot of people like, they try to like fall in love with each other after they have kids, and it's like, okay, I mean, you can do that. You can fall in love with someone after you have kids. That's not that unheard of. It's just like, I see people just think the love comes after the children. Like, love in the relationship builds over many years, which maybe it does. Maybe it does for them. I don't know. I just always wanted someone to fall in love with me. By the way, when I say someone fall in love with me, I don't have any problem falling in love with people. I have problems with people falling in love with me because I swipe right on, or I use OkCupid, and I press the check mark for every single person, and I get a match once every. I usually get a match. I do that every day for 30 days, and I get about one match a month. You know, I get about one match a month on there doing that, and which is really great. I really appreciate every match I do get. I'm very thankful for every time someone's interested in me. That means a lot to me. I really like when someone's interested in me, and I'm very thankful for every time, every match I get, and sometimes they talk to me, sometimes I try to talk to them, and every time I try to talk to them, they don't respond. The only time they talk to me is when they start the conversation. I've never gotten someone to talk to me on OkCupid after me starting the conversation. The only time someone has talked to me, the only time someone's wanted to talk to me is when they started the conversation. But I send many messages to try to start conversations. The only problem I have on OkCupid is I'm matched with like 20, 25 people, and every time I send one of them a message, um, that's kind of, I lose a person that I'm potentially matched with, because a lot of times they usually unmatch with me after I send them a message and or I start a conversation with them. I mean, they don't talk to me. They only talk to me if they start the conversation, because the problem is once they realize how dumb I am and how I have a learning disability, and they're like, "Oh, you're not very interesting to talk to," then they just unmatch with me. But um, uh, it's really hard if you have a learning disability. But anyways, um, a lot of women will just want kids. A lot of women just want to have kids, and that's okay. I'll have kids with somebody, but I don't preferably want children, because I don't want them to grow up in a uh, climate um, dis what's the word I don't want them to grow up in some destroyed world by climate. I don't think that's a responsible activity to do. This life is going to get harder and harder for people as the more flooding happens and more fires happen. Life is going to get harder and harder for people, and the governments aren't doing anything. The governments aren't doing anything to stop it. So we have to do as people. We got to make a decision. Do we want to have children? And every time you have a child, it creates about 500 tons of CO2. Each child is going to create 500 tons of CO2, and it's like I don't get it. Not to mention, it's also unresponsible for me to have. There's also another reason why it's unresponsible for me to have children. I have a severe learning disability, and life was really hard growing up for me, and I couldn't imagine someone else growing up the way I grew up with the my situation. And it was really hard for me to go to school, and people just get freaked out by me, and it's like, oh my god. Everyone just has so much anxiety around me. It's just like I used to think that I had. I mean, I do have social anxiety, but it's more of an issue where other people have social anxiety around me, and they just get freaked out every time I'm in the area. It's like, okay, relax, we get it, whatever. I'm probably not going to make this video as long as my last video, but I don't think I have as much to say. But I wouldn't be opposed to having children. If I met someone who was in love with me and really wanted to have children, all right, excuse me, we'll have children. All right, we'll have children. If that's what they really wanted, I will have children. If that's what it took to get someone to fall in love with me, to have children, all right, I will have children with you if you want to fall in love with me. And if that's what it takes to get someone to fall in love with me is to have children, okay, I'll do it. I'll have children. If that's what they really want, I'll have children. All right, great. We'll have children. We'll have children. I mean, if that's what they really want, I'll have children. But I just, I don't know. There's so much more to life than children. There's so much more to life than sex. There's so much more to life than, buying chocolates on Valentine's Day for people, and doing all this stuff, and buying wedding rings, and buying diamonds, and buying jewelry for the person. There's so much more to life than any of that stuff, and I worry that even if I did find a way to get into a relationship, there would be so much maintenance required, and then once they just reach a certain age, they turn 30 years old, and they're like, I actually want to have kids, and I'm like, okay, I don't really want to have kids. And then they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna find someone who does want to have kids. And a lot of people just want to have sex until a baby pops out, and it's just like, oops, we got a child because we had sex enough, so a baby comes out, and it's like, that's what we wanted. That's what they wanted, and it's okay, great, we'll have a baby. So a lot of people don't really decide to have children. A lot of people just have children through having sex and don't use protection, don't use birth control, or maybe use birth control and use condoms, and they just have kids that way. That's the way a lot of women like doing it, is they just have unplanned pregnancies. especially women in their early 20s. Like early 20s, it's usually unplanned pregnancies where it's like, okay, whoopsie daisy, unplanned pregnancy. It's like, okay, that's the way a lot of women like to do it. It's just so if I feel like because I don't put out, don't um, I don't satisfy their desire to have an unplanned pregnancy, and it's like because I don't put out, like it's just like, oh god, I just like that's all they think about is having babies, and it's just like I don't know. I know they want other things in life other than sex and babies. I just oh my god, I just get a headache because I don't I don't know how to satisfy them if the only thing they want is sex and babies. I don't know how I can satisfy them. I don't know how I can get them interested. I don't know. Do they want me to buy them nice things, buy them diamond rings, buy them chocolates, buy them teddy bears, those massive teddy bears, small teddy bears. I don't know what kind of teddy bear they want. I don't know what the ideal situation is. Anyways, they don't really talk to me that much on the dating apps. Sometimes I think they want me to do all the talking, and sometimes I think, um, sometimes I think, it just doesn't matter. Like it literally just doesn't matter. Sometimes I just think they're just not that into me. They're just not. They're just not super interested in me. All right, great, whatever. I think about this stuff and it makes me want to go to sleep because it's just like, oh god, I get nauseous and I just get nauseous. Whatever. It makes me feel like taking a nap. So, yeah. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do long term with that because probably I don't know if I'd meet someone that has the same viewpoints as far as climate change and climate anxiety and do they want to bring a baby into this world, and I have trouble even getting girls to talk to me. You know what's funny? When I was in high school, girls talked to me every single day. Girls talked to me all the time in high school. They talked to me all the time in middle school. They talked to me all the time in elementary school. But as soon as I got to like my 20s, they didn't talk to me at all anymore. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. As soon as I got to my 20s, they just wouldn't talk to me at all anymore. It's like, oh my god. Just I It's like they don't even want to be friends with me anymore. Like I didn't used to have any problems at all making friends with girls. It's like now it's like, oh my god, it's so hard. I do make friends with girls sometimes. I do make some friends. So it's not that, it's not like it's impossible. It's just rare. It's very rare. Oh my god. So I just gotta keep trying, keep working on it. And everything's okay. It's all good. I just get climate anxiety, and I don't really want to have kids. I wouldn't be opposed to having children. I just don't preferably want to have kids. There's other things I want in life other than children. Like I'd rather play video games. I'd rather work my job. I'd rather watch TV. There's so many things I'd rather be doing rather than taking care of children. Plus, I don't make any money right now, so I can't afford to take care of them, and I'm afraid that someone is going to leave me after they have children because sometimes postpartum depression makes people depressed. So those are some of the things I'm worried about, and let's start to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. And now a word from our sponsors. Are you looking for an easy way to make money online part-time? Are you looking for a long-term career in marketing? If you click the link in the description of this video and join ClickBank University, you'll be awarded with awesome opportunities to make cash now. They said it couldn't be done. Scientists have just found the formula for Organify. Join the green health movement that's changing the world. Click the link in the description of this video to discover the secret to losing weight. It's never been this easy to lose weight until now. I love video games just like a lot of people. What if I told you you could get paid to play video games? You can make $50,000 a year if you become a video game tester. Just click the link in the description of this video and you can start a lucrative career testing video games. I know what you're thinking, how are you supposed to be successful like me? Well, I've written a book and it's called From Zero to Hero, and you can purchase it in the link below this video. I started out just like you at one time, and now look at me, they put me on YouTube. Order it today, change your life now. This channel is sponsored by viewers like you. I would be extremely thankful if you support me making content just like this video here. Click the link in the description below to support me on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.